Okay, so Chelsea have just won the Conference League, but we want to focus on last year's winners, Olympiacos, as they are going to be a huge rival for us in today's rebuild. We've been set a challenge by the legend at Surprise Shirts to get this Greek side to win the Conference League using youth only. And that team is Atromitos Athens, a club which sits in the mid-table region looking to take the next step. And of course today, this challenge does not end until we win a European competition with Atromitos Athens using only youth players. And here they are on Football Manager, a club which have just finished second in the relegation group of the top tier of Greek football. And a lovely shirt, I may say. We'll get on Surprise Shirts in just a little bit. You can see from what we're looking at here, they have a decent youth recruitment, decent youth facilities, and decent training facilities, but nothing special. Whenever we've done youth-only rebuilds in the past, we've gone to AC Milan, Manchester United, Ajax, some of the biggest youth academies in the world. And today's challenge is going to be extra difficult because we have to try and dominate Greece, not with the best team, while using just youth only. You can see they finished 11th out of 14 sides. Clubs like Aris, AEK, Panathinaikos, PAOK, Olympiacos, even missing out on the European top 4 phase, which is mental. So it's actually a very competitive league, and it might be one of my hardest rebuilds I have ever done. And the way we can really see that is by looking at a lot of the star players, sorting by max value, and the fact that they're not grown at nation or at club. And looking to the development centre, there is no first team candidates for us as the under-19s. While there is some good potential players, there's no one really there ready for the step up. So for this video, we are going to do things a slight bit different with the youth only, in that I'm allowed to keep players which are homegrown at nation as well at club, but I'm not going to be signing anyone. So everyone else is gone, and you have to be at least homegrown in the nation or at the club to kick things off. Because to be honest, I tried it with just the youth only at the club. I was sacked within a month because our players were full of silver stars. And yeah, we can't be doing that. So to make this challenge at least semi-reasonable, we are starting off with homegrown in nation and in club players. And even then, the team doesn't look amazing. This is our starting side. And like I said, it's not amazing. A bunch of 1.5 and 1-star players, and some players in here which I'm sure will leave us as we don't do very well in the next couple of seasons. In goal, we have Lefteris Choutosrius. I'm going to apologise right away for pronunciation of Greek names. I am not a talented pronunciator, and this is probably going to go horribly wrong. If you are offended, I really do apologise. We've got Dimitrios Sakamakas in the right-back position, with Nikos Athanasiou in the left-back position. Cyprios Christokopoulos at centre-back, with Dimitrios Stravopoulos. At least I hope some of you are having a laugh at this pronunciation. Thanasis Karamanes and Karis Singaras in the DM positions, Angelos Aragiou on the right, Grigios Vrakas in the left, Dimitrios Kalokamis in the cam role, and Harry Kampetisis up front for us. And that is our best 11. And you can see from like the ability of the striker or the wingers, it's really not looking good. Even our DM here, Karimas, is a 20-year-old who is currently on loan in the 3rd tier, I believe, of Greece, and up to 6.79. He's now got to make the step up to play against the best teams in Greece with the goal of winning the league and, of course, winning a European competition. Now, financially, money in Greece is not amazing here in Football Manager, so we are in negative £2 million worth of debt, and there is £2 million in net debt as well. So what I think is going to happen is for the first 3 or 4 seasons, this rebuild is going to be very, 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 very difficult, and it will be a complete struggle to not get relegated as we look to simply hopefully get some youth talent that comes into the team and does really well. But over time, as we get more money in the bank, we spend more money on youth facilities and training facilities, we should get some fantastic wonder kids, and eventually we'll be one of the best at producing talent within the club in the world. In terms of the history of Atromitos, they have actually been a top tier side now since 2009. Sort of got their best position was 3rd in 2015, but recent years have fallen off. So are looking for a new way to get back to the top, and hopefully today that is exactly what we can do. There is some players for us to sell. They are all on the transfer list and all looking to leave the club. It will take some time to get rid of them, but hopefully we can get rid of as many as possible in this first season. I'm very scared, I'll be honest. I don't think this is going to go well at all. The only really good thing is obviously the fact that we've cleared everyone out. We are going to have a lot of very good youth players here at the club. If we're looking into the sort of potential goalkeeper, Napoleon Litsis is our sub-goalkeeper at the moment, but as a 2.5-star player with 5-star potential. So I might even make him our starter because there's no really point in him not starting, as he's the same ability of the other goalkeeper we've got. So straight away, a super young goalkeeper. Harry Kempistas has got 5-star potential. Konstas Borzukis. Honestly, I'm going to be awful in this video. Adamai, but that's much more of an easier name to pronounce. Pantelis Bechlivandis is a good player. Dimitris Kolokamos at just 19 looks good as well. And they are our sort of starting super players. I simmed the first season, actually simmed it, so we got youth players from the start as well, rather than trying to go from 2023. You can see we are in 2024, hence why we have a few 5-star players with us, which is good to see. And pretty much everyone else down here is going. They're not good enough. Everyone else is in the first team and is hopefully, I say hopefully, going to make us survive this season, and we can have some amazing stories. This rebuild should be really fun. We should see some players come through the academy and do absolute bits, and hopefully take Atromitos to the biggest club in Greece. We need to look at the FM gods and the Greek gods in this one. And obviously a massive thanks to Surprise Shirts for hooking us up with this video idea, and a massive fan of the kit we've got as well with Atromitos. And it's a club that now I'm going to follow in Greece, and that's the beauty of Surprise Shirts. It's very simple to get your hands on some, and I've got you guys a discount code as well. Simply click Surprise Boxes at the top of the website. We'll go with FM Edition, because this edition is, personally for me, the best one. It gives you access to get a team that is guaranteed to be on the base vanilla version of Football Manager, and you can then choose want to play it safer, more obscure, or go for it. And I'd say I do not want no Manchester City, because no one likes Manchester City shirts. Now I've got you 2 different discount codes, one for a one-time purchase and one for a subscription purchase as well. For the one-time purchase, simply click add to bag and check out securely down in the bottom right corner. And for that one-time purchase, as mentioned, we have got you a discount code. It is 10 Kemp to get you 10% off. But what if you don't want to just do a one-time purchase? You want a surprise shirt every single month? Simple. Click subscribe and save, where you already save money due to the fact you are subscribing to the subscription. But also, I've got you an extra 20% off. The exact same, click checkout down below. Rather than 10 Kemp, give you 20 Kemp. And this gives you 20% off your first month in the subscription basis. And as I said, a massive thank you to Surprise Shirts. The link to that will be down in the description down below. Go over there, get yourself a shirt, and let me know which one you got for your save for the summer of FM24. Now for this rebuild, we will be using a 4-2-3-1 formation. And I will not lie to you, we are going as meta as possible. It is what we have got to do to see if we can take this troubled mid-table Greek side to youth-only dominance. And the first goal in this game was a nice corner set piece, but you can see there getting down the left-hand side, Svoras finishing off into the top corner. For the 88th minute, the superstar of this season, Harry, scores to make it 3-0. And yes, we are now referring to him just as Harry, as I don't want to butcher his name anymore because he could be the star of this rebuild. His stats don't look amazing. He's got 3 determination and 9 finishing. He just grabbed 20 goals and 3 assists in the top tier of Greek football, which is absolutely fantastic. And he was in the top 4 goal scorers in the league on 20 goals. And you can see we are not in the relegation league phase, which is fantastic. We actually got into the European places playoff and missed out by a singular point to last season's winners, Addis, who I believe would have had European competitions, and they found that very, very difficult. They were in the Europa League and I imagine got slapped about the place. Luckily, we're not rebuilding these as their youth recruitment is horrendous. So maybe we are at a pretty decent place to come through with some young players. But 31 points, very, very happy. League table-wise, 42 overall. We finished in 7th place, which is a big improvement on last year. Obviously, only using youth only. So how that's happened, I've got no idea. Our formation must be very, very meta. 10 in terms of goal difference, 42 points that way from Offi in 6th. PAOK, AEK, Olympiakos and Panathinaikos, the traditional big 4 in Greece, doing very well. And they are going to be very hard to break into. To get into this championship group, I imagine it's going to be near on impossible for a good 5 or 6 seasons. Let me know in the comments down below how long you think this rebuild is going to take. I personally think it's going to take a very long time. We have been helped big time this season by Nikos Athansalu, who was a Greek left back at 24 years of age this season, who got the second highest average rating of anyone in the league on a 7.29, grabbing 10 assists and 5 goals. While other stand-up performers, we see Dimitris Samakas, Dimitris Stravopoulos, Napoleon Vlachos, who was a young defender, done well when he played, Adam Ebe as well, 9 goals, 10 assists, really good from him at 17 or 16 years of age. Of course, Harry with 20 is great, Kostas with 2 assists, and in terms of the goalkeeper position, Napoleon is going to be our starting goalkeeper next season. There was some rotation between him and Lefteris this year, but he certainly looks the part. He is growing quite nicely. He is only 6 foot, which is a little bit worrying. Area reach and jumping reach though is quite good, and his actual goalkeeping stats are really good. He did concede 24 in 13 games, but hopefully going forward, he is going to be the man to save us. High potential wise, a few more wonder kids coming in. Kimon Samaris is a 5-star centre-back who looks really good. A little bit slow, a little bit small as well, but defensively really good, and for this level, really, really good. Nonstas Barukias could be our striker next year over Harry. We'll see. He's got free finishing though, so we'll take that back. Definitely not. Stick him at centre half. Demetrius Kalakokomas, Alekavides Pitas is a left back who looks really good actually. Good determination, good physicals, good aggression as well. The Pitters are aggressive and we love to see that. Singras in DM done really well. Stravopoulos in centre back done well. And of course Nikos as well. Overall a very, very good season. In terms of players leaving, still got loads of these trying to sell and getting them gone, but having that season and a few outgoings did help us financially. In terms of debt, we managed to clear half of it, and we are only in £700,000 in overall balance negative as well, which is really, really good because this could have gone a lot worse if we didn't have such a good season and do quite well at clearing players out. Of course, as well, our wage budget is going to absolutely tumble. If we look at our wage budget right now compared to the other teams in the league, we're sitting in 7th place, 10 times less than Panathinaikos in number 1, and we're competing with Aris, who are spending 4 times more. So it's safe to say we've done a really good job in season number 1, and I kind of don't expect it to get worse. If we've just gone out and done that in season number 1, only our youth players are going to be here, and they are going to get better and better. So theoretically, we should now be looking up. But sadly, as you can see from the form, things weren't great. We drew lots of games in September, lost a lot of games in October and November, did a really good December, but drew all 3 games in January and didn't win a single game in February, which put us into the relegation group where we won pretty much every single game. We finished miles clear of the likes of Kalamata, Kafisia, Panikalos, Ilakaris and Lamia. Which means we probably shouldn't have been in this relegation group. We probably should have been in the bottom of this European places playoff and actually finished in 9th place overall once we sort of got all of our points, etc. Just a bit disappointing to miss out on that European places playoff, and does show some definite regression from last year, which is very weird because I thought we'd done very, very well. In terms of top goal scorers, we fell off. Average rating, we fell off. Clean sheets, we weren't there. Player of the matches, Grigios Barakas has done well in that left wing position, so good to see him doing bits with 19 goal contributions in 30 games. And good to see Anthony Martial as well, competing against us with our youth only, bagging 23 goals. Obviously in from Manchester United a couple of seasons ago now, which is weird to say. And also a few teams breaking into this as well. OFI going in to 4th place and qualifying for that Euro, like the championship group, which is cool, and Olympiacos dropping out, which is a big shame for them. The middle of the pack is very, very tight. Aris, Panzerakios, Atromitos and Atromitos are all within sort of 5 or 6 points. And if we do eventually get back into that European places playoff, I think we'll do quite well in it. And the reason I say that is some of our youngsters are progressing very well. Napoleon in goal is now a 4-star player with 5-star potential and considered a good Super League 1 player, which is great to see. We have probably got our goalkeeper for the whole rebuild, which is amazing. This is one of the hardest positions to get a big wonder kid in, and we've got him straight away, which is brilliant. Kimion Samaris, a centre-back, played 24 games this season and is progressing quite nicely, grown up to 6 foot as well, which is good to see. So great progression from him. In DM, we have now got Pantelis Bechlevandis in DM next to the other guy, and he looks really good defensively. 8 goal contributions in 36 games this year as well. In terms of our wing positions, Harry, who was the striker last year, played a few games up there, but also played out on the right wing, as did Angelos, who was obviously from season number 1. Adam Ibe, 18 goal contributions, again, really good. At 17 years of age, this guy's come in and done absolute wonders. Is a Super League 1 standard player, which is great to see. None of his stats really cry out. He's only 5'4", so not very meta at all, but doing really well. And of course, Vrakas as well, doing bits. Have we had any more superstar wonder kids come up this year? It doesn't look like I recognize any new names. To be honest, I might not have moved him up from the under-19s just yet. Let's have a little look. We've got Philos Bizas, who is a 5-star centre-back, who is 5'9", so not very helpful at all. Christobius Chaintusis looks like a very decent right winger, actually. Good speed, 6'5" as well. We love that. We'll hopefully see him do bits in the first team at some point. Other than that, probably no one that's going to make it the club, but these two certainly can come up into the first team, as we need as many players as we can get to get us up there. Again, financially, it's not looking amazing. £1.5 million going down, and the same in the debt, which isn't great. So we need some more player sales. I wonder if at some point we're going to have to sell some of our star players, if we're just going to be in this constant cycle and I'll never be able to actually improve our facilities. That's the big thing in this rebuild we need to eventually get to, is improving our youth recruitment, youth facilities. And if we're in a negative balance, that's just simply not going to happen. And it's safe to say we definitely improved this season. We got back into the European places playoff, which is great to see, but left in the dust quite massively by OFI. Obviously a team that finished 3rd last season, dropping back down as the championship group goes back to the Big Four, and the rest of us just struggle to break into it. We were actually on 29 points, level with Aris this season, which is good. But you can see some of the names coming up into the league now. Sebastiano Esposito now at Panathinaikos, and I'm meant to compete with this guy who's just grabbed 22 goals, which is mental. Harry done really well, 4th place again, and 17 goals, 15 goals in the league. Good pace, but really isn't the guy that's going to take us to the very top. But I think we might have a few players which are definitely going to help. Chain Tusis, we saw him last season, 6'5" in that right wing position with good finishing, good composure and good pace. 9 goals and 5 assists, and I was about to train him to become a striker. But we got our second pitter. Orpheus Pitas is a 6'6" striker, and if you know anything about FM, big, strong strikers dominate in the match engine. So this guy is going to be our guy. I'm going to put everything into making Orpheus Pitas the starting striker and superstar for this rebuild. He's going to be the face on the cover star as well, the rebuild and the thumbnail. A lot of words come out of my mouth just there. But he's going to be brilliant. I'm absolutely sure of it. Determination's decent enough. Composure and finishing at 15, decent enough. Pace, decent enough. 6'6". I love it. I want to see him and Chain Tusis work wonders with their 6'5" and 6'6" bullying ability. And hopefully Harry can be someone that goes out on that left wing and does bits as well. Bechlevandis at centre-back is someone we saw last year. 11 goals, 5 assists, progressing really well, which is amazing to see. Nikos, 12 assists this season as well. Goalkeeper-wise, Napoleon still doing really well, which is good. And so many more 5-star and 4.5-star potential players coming into the team. A whole bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds this year as well. So some really good progression. Even a brand new right wing back in Andrinios Plemenos is growing very well. Not amazing at getting the ball in the box, but good speed. 5'2", which is very weird, and then 16 determination and decision making. So a really smart footballer who's hopefully going to do bits for us. Watching us on the pitch is going to be very weird. We don't have 6'6", 6'5", and then 5'4" Ibe and Cam, and then 5'2" right wing back as well, which is going to be mental. Ibe this season doing really well. Again, progressing really nicely. So we have definitely got some talented players on our hands. But as you guys have seen before, with these rebuilds, it is just a grind to eventually get up to the top. So let's keep going. And that's exactly what we've done this season. We kept growing, we grinded things out, and had our best season yet. And Chain Tutis has had his breakout season, scoring a brace in this one against Aris. Aris were our main competitors for a position we really needed to get this year, and something we have finally done. We have got European football for next season as we qualify for the Europa Conference League. 32 points, 11 goal difference, 15 wins, 8 draws and 9 losses. An incredible season for us. Looking into the league table, we were actually the 5th best side. We are breaking up the sort of status quo here and attempting to really push for the top 4 in Greece. I know Greek football sometimes chuck around a lot of money. You can see Martial, the likes of Mbala and Zola here at Olympiacos, Sebastiano Esposito, Fedor Chalov, some big older names, even Timothy Weah here at the club at Olympiacos now. Gonna absolutely dominate this league. We are ripping up that status quo. We are getting in the youth. We are improving this league and hopefully overall as well, improving the Greek national team. I say that, looking at the world rankings, started at 48th, now in 61st. So maybe not. What a season it was for us. And I am buzzing to say some of these wonder kids are now like wanted by other European clubs. Inter Milan in for Adam Ibe. The reason I'm buzzing to say that is because if we are progressing talent, which is ready for Italy, it shows the academy here is good enough to produce players to win in this league. Adam Ibe at a value of £6.6 million. We'll see what we do. I don't want to sell him, but he is fantastic. And we're very lucky to get a player come through the academy like him. Napoleon in goal, wanted by Arsenal and Inter Milan as well. Also doing really well. His stats actually don't impress me that much, but he's consistent and goalkeepers are just so hard to come by. If we pick this by our best 11 now, we'll see Andrinios going into that right back position. Kimon Samanis at centre back, Athanasiou at left wing back, Pantelis and Pavlos Gaetanos in the midfield. Chain Tusis, 14 goal contributions. Adam Ibe, 21. Vrakas with 18. And Harry up top with 18 as well. Obviously, last season we mentioned Pitas up front. This year we let him stay in the under-19s and go and destroy football over there, which he's done really well. He's progressed nicely and now at 16. I think potentially ready to come up to the first team. He did play a few games for us. Only got a 6.53 average rating, but I'm not worried. He's only 16. I think eventually he will dominate this league. But first of all, it's time for our first European adventure as we have to qualify through the Europa Conference League. And we start in the 3rd qualifying round with Harry grabbing the first goal before Valmas whipping it in to the edge of the box for Beche Levandis to score a screamer. And we beat this side 2-0 on aggregates, and it was quite a convincing victory. But facing up against the side like Rakau was going to be much more difficult. Orpheas Pitas did score his first professional goal for the club, but the first leg was a draw and the second leg was going to be very, very tough. We went 1-0 down very early on, but did grab a goal back literally 3 minutes later as a ball comes into the box, and a fantastic finish from Kalos Gamis. And we are now going to see the domination of the big players. You've seen Chain Tulis run to the line with the ball in, and how does it sound to get him to find the other big man, eventually finding Pitas to score, which is amazing. He is my hero of this rebuild, and I know he's going to be a superstar for us. The fact he scored 2 goals in the first 2 games just says it all. Rakau do grab a goal back in the 75th minute, and that saves the game to penalties, in which is one of the worst penalty shootouts I've ever seen, as both teams missed their first 2. But sadly, it was us that missed too many. We missed 4 penalties, and you simply can't be doing that. We lost 6-5 in the end. I even believe our goalkeeper, Leitsis, took one and he missed the final penalty, which is heartbreaking for him. So that meant our European journey was over, and it was won by Valencia this season, which again just shows the level we have got to get to eventually try and compete with some big European sides. But before that, we've got to avoid relegation, as we finish in the relegation group, which is embarrassing. After last season getting European football, I thought we were on the up. We don't even have European football to blame as an excuse, as we didn't play any this season other than the first game week. So this season we just were rubbish, which is a real shame, and something we seriously need to look into. Once again, if we pick this by our best 11, we can see a few changes in the team. First off, we'll look at the goals. Dominated by Kalasamas with 11, Astanthew with 10, Vrakas with 10, and then Pitas having his breakout year, 8 goals and 1 assist. doing really well in his progression. Speed has gone up quite a lot as well. Now 13 pace, 11 acceleration, 12 composure, and 10 finishing. So hopefully we see some bits out of him. Chain Tusis on the right wing, I actually believe is now club captain. He is, which is brilliant. He is wanted by a few sides, AC Milan, Napoli, and Juventus. But I'm going to try really hard to not get rid of him, which is something I also said about Ebe, but he left to go and join Inter Milan and hasn't played a single game for them, which is really disappointing. It was £5 million though, which will go a long way in our finances. And you can see that here, the massive spike we had from making that player sale. And despite me requesting a whole bunch of times to improve things, the board haven't changed a single thing. So I'm not sure if I'm going to sell players or not, because the board simply aren't listening to me. They think our youth facilities are good enough to compete as it is. And I kind of get where they're coming from. If we look through some of the teams in the Greek leagues, we obviously looked at Aris, and theirs is completely and utterly useless. Pantelikos, ours is much better than. AEK, ours is at a similar level in recruitment, just worse facilities. Panathinaikos, again, same level of recruitment, just a little bit worse facilities. And Olympiakos, well, they absolutely dominate and will take all the wonder kids that come up through Greece. So I don't know if we're ever going to get to that level. And I think we had to kind of just settle being the second best team, realistically. I mean, other than PAOK as well, who's also is fantastic. It's just going to be very, very difficult. I actually don't know what's happened here with Ofi grabbing 16 points and getting... oh my god, actually I do know what's happened. So relegation group, these two got relegated, but Ofi survived based on their form in this group, I imagine, because other than that they were absolutely horrendous. I mean, how on earth does this happen? That is an awful season, and then just come back in the relegation group and dominated, which is hilarious. They beat us and then lost 5-1 to us. Wow. Fair enough. Ofi Crete have managed to survive, and we are surviving as well. We are doing more than surviving. We've just had a season where we got potential European football. Despite not doing very well, financially we're doing much better, and we've pretty much managed to build a team full of wonder kids now. So we are doing quite well, and we are only in 2029, so I imagine there's a long way to go. And in 2030, it was a very similar story in the relegation group once again, but by far a dominant side alongside PAS Giana. We were way too good to be in the relegation group, but sadly our initial form start of the season just was not good enough. Negative 12 goal difference, 28 points only to start things off, and then dominated in the end. Harry is still our striker that's scoring the most goals at the moment. Pitas is growing and getting better. At 18, I think we're starting to see him really progress. But I think it's very difficult. There's a big sort of overhaul of players every single season. And looking positively, there's so many players here with like ridiculously high potential. It's just a grind to get there. We now have two Albanians as well in Clevis Thaki and Endri Thielu, both 5-star potential, both Albania, both at the same summer as well, which is quite cool to see. We've even got a Welshman in Ray Sowerby at right back through the academy, which is hilarious. So good to see that happening. In terms of player selves, yes, Chains Deuces left. He went to PSG. I mean, we have developed a PSG player, an Inter Milan player, and it's 2030. What on earth has happened there? He's wanted by the likes of Wigan on loan. How much I'd love to bring him back, but we are banned from doing transfers, sadly. But club captain also left, which is a big reason things sort of fell apart again. Financially, though, it does help a lot. But as I've said, the club just don't want to change anything with recruitment, which is frustrating. But to be honest, we aren't really struggling that much. We're getting a lot of good players come through the academy. It's just trying to keep hold of them. And to do that, I think we need to get consistent European football. Or we just need to completely turn the corner and have a miracle season, which is kind of what's happened this year. We were just absolutely incredible. We scored 9 goals in the first 2 games to kick things off in August, and then won every game other than a 3-1 loss to Panathinaikos and a 3-2 loss to Olympiakos in the months of September, October, and November. Every other game was a victory. We seem to have turned a corner, and our wonder kids have started to be better than the average team in Greece. And it's just getting to that next step now of competing with Olympiakos, PAOK, Panathinaikos, and clubs like that. But the teams that fall at the bottom of the table and the mid-table, this season we just showed our progression has been a lot quicker because of the amount of youth we're doing here at the club. And we've absolutely dominated them. And if you look at the league table here, we finished in 3rd place, only 7 points behind Olympiakos, which is mental. This is obviously the initial start of the season, and the 5 losses against AEK, Aris, Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, and a weird loss to Kalamata. 4 draws against Panteleos, Volos, Olympiakos, and Panathinaikos. But other than that, just smashing every other team, which is brilliant. Now, that does mean when we get to the championship group, we were the worst team by quite some distance. Finished on 61 points, only 8 points away. But I can't believe what's happened this year. We have completely turned things around, and we've even got Europa League football, which is good. But I kind of want to lose their qualifying games and go down to the Conference League, because there is zero chance we win the Europa League. But with the progression we've had this year, just looking at some of our new players that have come up and started to perform really well, like Nikos, who's been here the whole time, but Vrakas as well, Lidsas 7.03, Bechi Levandis 7.01, Ray Sowerby a 7, Harry with 13 goals, Pitas now top goal scorer with 16. With this sort of progression, I don't see how we can win the Europa League, but the Conference League is a genuine chance. Just looking through some of the past winners, it has been dominated by big clubs, but big clubs from other nations have got to the finals as well. Başakşehir from Turkey, SK Rapid from Austria, Young Boys from Switzerland, Midtjylland from Denmark have all got to the final in the last 5 years. And when it comes to a final, it just needs that moment of magic. Now, this has been dominated by Fiorentina, Manchester United, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Fiorentina, Valencia, Porto and Wolves. So a lot of big money sides. But getting to that final is what we need to do. And then just play our game. And I've famously said many, many times, the Conference League is the easiest competition to win on Football Manager. So if we get out of the qualifying rounds, I fully believe we have a chance next season. And like I've said, that's been helped massively due to the progression of some of the wonder kids here and keeping some of our star players. Napoleon not leaving the club has been brilliant. He's unhappy. He's wanted by Middlesbrough. He's not going anywhere. New centre-back that's come in, Visaron Fritos, is a Greek guy who looks brilliant, 19 years of age, is wanted by Inter Milan, who'd love to see our wonder kids, apparently. Zrakos, a DM that's come up through the academy, wanted by Panteleikos, end of contract. We'll try and fix that so he doesn't leave, because he looks great. New cam, Maximos Kontravakis, has done well this season, looks very, very well-rounded as well. Of course, Pitas up front is my favourite player, but Harry Kanutsis is another good one. 5-star centre-back, wonder kid, looks really good, 17 determination, 6'2", good speed, both-footed, good defending stats, could be a superstar. And I think this has kind of just shown me, really, in terms of this youth-only rebuild, is that if you give young players a chance, you will do well. Even with like the youth recruitment being only through 3-star, I don't know if I've just got very lucky with the wonder kids that have come through the academy, but just having players play lots of different games and really pushing that first team, maybe I'm going to try this with a few other sides as well. Let me know what leagues you want me to head into, and I might just pick some random sides to go and do a youth only with, because this has been amazing fun, and we are now in Europe with Atromitos Athens using youth only. So our first order of business was to on purpose get knocked out of the Europa League. It's exactly what I done in the second round, losing on penalties. I made sure all of our players were rubbish at penalties and wanted to throw this. So Kontravakos and Kantusis, thank you, you listened. The rest of you on the naughty step. Which means phase 2 was qualify for the Europa Conference League phase, and we were facing up against Tobil, a club, to be honest, that I have never heard of, and I would be devastated if we lost to. So good news, we beat them 4-2. Which led us to the fourth round, where we faced up against IFK Gothenburg, a very big club in Sweden, and drew 1-1 to them in the first leg and matched them up very well. So in the second leg, they had to come back to the Atromitos Stadium and attempt to overthrow the Greek giants. Harry Kampitsis, who has been a star from day one, scores early to make it 1-0, and we score from the corner to make it 2-0 with a dominating header from Stravopoulos, while IFK did grab a goal back in the 60th minute. That was it for this game, and we had qualified for the league phase, which is a huge step. And while things didn't go amazing in the league phase, they went decent enough. We played 6 games, got 2 victories over Rapid and Karabag. We drew to AZ and Hearts, and lost to Spurs and Valencia. Spurs, if we face them, we are utterly screwed against. They are incredible and won every single game with 18 points. Anyone else other than, Lazio and all right, Spurs, Lazio, Sevilla. If we face them before the final, we're screwed. Anyone else looking at this list, we can beat Bran, AEK, Sturmgrat, Djurgårdens, Rangers, St. Pat's, Rosenborg, Hammarby, Aberdeen, Farrell, Sheriff, Maccabi, Servette, HJK, Rakow, Hearts, AZ, Young Boys, Antwerp, Rapid. I do not care about a single one of them. We just need to dodge Spurs, Lazio and Sevilla. Before we get there, we need to talk about this Greek Super League because, oh my God, we have done it. We have overthrown Panathinaikos, Olympiakos and AEK to win the Greek Super League in the Championship group. In the league table, joint top, Olympiakos. Do not care. We are champions winning the Championship group. And our top goal scorer, of course, was this man, Pitas. I knew he would be the star. When I saw a 6'6" striker with high potential, I knew it was game over. 14 pace, 12 acceleration, 13 composure, 11 finishing, but 6'6". He's also 87 kg, so he's put on 10 kg in the last 5 years. His speed has gone up from 10 to 14, finishing from 9 to 11, composure from 8 to 13. He has grown so much, and he's not got any shorter either. He is an absolute god in front of goal, and I love him. And well, could he be our hero in Europe as well? And this first leg in the knockout playoff round was against Farul from Romania, and we absolutely dominated them. It was a 2-1 victory in the home leg, and in the second leg away from home, some beautiful football being played, some beautiful link up by Pitas, and a great finish in the end by Sowerby to make it 2-0, and the game finished off 3-0, a 5-1 win on aggregate, as the big man, of course, got on the score sheet. And in the second leg, we faced up against Bran, a team which, again, I was confident we could beat, and boy did we beat them. In the first leg at the Atromitos Stadium, Saparopoulos got us off to a great start of an early goal before they did grab a goal back in 4 minutes, and I was a little bit worried that maybe this would be a bit of a ding-dong battle. Boy, was I wrong. We absolutely smashed them, helped by a red card as well. So Anathasalou made it 2-1 before a third goal came in the 69th minute as Parfenu drives down that left-hand side, cuts it back, Athansu whips it in, a big backstick header for Shoke to make it 3-1, and a fourth, wrapping up the tie in the round of 16, was finished off. Panfriou finds Mandrilias, who finishes at home, and that was tie done. But just remind me, who was the team we didn't want to face? Won 6 out of 6 in the league. Spurs. Yeah, Spurs. Spurs is who we are facing in the quarterfinals, which is brilliant because their team, it's pretty good. But they could not handle the Atromitos Stadium atmosphere. Filled with 17,000 passionate Greeks, we came away as 1-0 victors thanks to a goal from Parfenu, which means we now have to go and face Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and not lose, because I guarantee you, like I said, I've rigged it so that my team are rubbish at penalties, as we saw from the Europa League. So if we do get to penalties, we will lose. So when they scored the first goal, thanks to a Marcus Rashford penalty, I was quite worried. But in the 70th minute, we grabbed an equaliser, which put us back ahead in the tie as Athanasiou whips it in and Kontravakis scores. And we held Spurs to just 1 goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, despite being dominated, as you can see from the stats, with their 16 shots to our 6, their 55% possession, their 2.41 XG. We win the game, and Napoleon comes away with a 7.2 average rating. And we have done the unthinkable. We have beat Spurs. So as long as we don't face Sevilla or Lazio, this competition is ours. And in the semi-finals, we faced up against Djurgårdens. Easy, absolute mockery we made of these. An easy 2-0 victory in the first leg and the same in the second. Athanasiou scoring from the edge of the box to make it 1-0. And then Vrakas finds Athanasiou, who's been unreal throughout this rebuild, to whip it in to big man Pitas to win this game. And he sets up a final. And I'm a bit scared because it is Lazio who we are facing. Of course, we were going to face another big side in the final. It couldn't be easy, could it? But could we do it for the underdogs? There's been a bunch of teams which have not won in the Conference League final, and big teams from the big nations have dominated it. But can we bring another European trophy back to Greece? Well, in just 5 minutes, we grabbed an early lead, and it's been one of these star players in this rebuild, Bechelavindis, from the centre defensive midfield position, making it 1-0 before my hero, my absolute joke of a striker, Ofras Pitas, scores to make it 2-0 with a back post header. 60 seconds later, Lazio do go up the other end though and score to make it 2-1. And this was just the 28th minute, so we had to hold on. But that is exactly what we done. And we have brought another European trophy back to Greece as Atromitos beat Lazio 2-1. And I've got to say, a deserved victory as well. While their XG was better, we matched them on shots, we dominated them on possession. And overall, the underdog deserves to win. And we have finally won. And what a fun little rebuild this has been. Nowhere near as long as I thought it would be, I'll be completely honest. I thought it was going to take me absolutely ages. But it's really not. It's taken me, 8 seasons, if that. We are down into our sort of really top tier talent era, which is great to see. Harry at centre back is amazing. Oflias Pitas 24 and 48. Napoleon a 7.08 this season. Banji Levindis 14 and 3 assists. Harry Campizas this year 18 assists and 15 goals. What a season he's just had. He's been here from the start and just seen, Ibe and Chain 2 assists go off and leave the club. He stayed and he's got us a European trophy, and the same goes for Napoleon as well. As mentioned earlier on, if you want to see me do this in any other nations, get it down in the comments down below. I hope you've enjoyed, and of course this save file will be available to download on the Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.